So what are your thoughts with following up with prospects? Are you comfortable with it? Are you not comfortable with it? Are you somewhere in the middle? Because that's exactly what we're going to be talking about here in this training today is how to follow up with confidence and still keep your sanity. Now, whether you could benefit from this or a team member could benefit from this, feel free to share this if needed. But that's exactly what we're going to be talking about here in this training coming up next. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about exactly how to follow up with confidence and still keep your sanity. And the reason why this can be so hard is because number one, you're asking for the business. Number two, you're asking for someone's money. And I know that in the beginning for me, this was a really hard hurdle to get over. And especially when I first got started in the business world years ago, it was quite a leap and a leap of faith to have trust in the people that were guiding me that it really was okay to ask for the business, but I had to be able and to learn how to do it in a certain way. So to follow up with confidence, I want to give you three things to think about here, okay? And the first thing is this, is should you use scripts? I don't know, should you? Have I used scripts? Absolutely. Now, here's the thing, you may or may not know this, but I have a background in the business world, in the banking world. I no longer work in the banking world. I was able to take my learning there, my background there, and know that scripts are great to a certain point. They are there to give you a foundation. And if anything, if your upline has a script, take it and be grateful, say thank you. And then what you can do with that is look at it, pick it apart, make it your own. And that is what I want you to take away from using scripts. If you're going to use a script, make it your own. If there's nothing in there from your upline that you feel comfortable with and you would never say in 1,000 years, don't use it. But what I want you to do then is look at the script for what it is, extract the idea, and rewrite that script. How would you say that? How would you approach somebody in their business? Okay. So thinking about a script, you've got to be able to personalize it. You've got to be able to make it your own, and you've got to be able to connect with people. Connections equal conversations, which equals sales for you. Now, the next part of this is when should I follow up? I get it. It's one of those questions that makes a lot of us very uncomfortable in the beginning in this business because we want to make sure that we're giving our prospects space. We're not bugging them, we're not annoying them, and we're really giving them what they need to feel comfortable with the relationship that's being built with us, right? And vice versa. Now, here's the thing. I want you to remember, be a friend first and a marketer second. And if you can remember that, it's going to change how you frame your conversations, number one. It's going to change the questions that you ask. It's going to change your posture and your poise with your prospect. So you can follow up with them almost right away, all right? But giving them some time at least to consider what it is that you're asking to offer them. Now, if it's follow up with just a general, how are you doing? That follow-up can be almost right away once you've established that relationship on social media. How are things going? Make sure to leave enough time to build that relationship just like you would with any relationship. But as far as like a follow-up to the business, now let's talk about this for just a moment. These are a little bit different. You want to build a relationship, some kind of connection on social before you just go pitching somebody your opportunity, okay? And there's a certain way to even do that. You're not really pitching somebody, all right? So here's the thing is that, when we make friends, it's almost like dating. You go on the first few dates, you're with whether you're married or not, we know that marriage really requires some courtship. And it's the same thing with friends. It's the same thing with prospects. You have to date for a while to know if it's even worth it and it's somebody that you want to be in a relationship with, right? So your prospecting efforts are not any different in that respect. You have to go through that dating process a little bit, not the same way, but you have to go through a time frame where you're building that relationship with your prospect. You're feeling it out, and there's a certain process, and there are some questions to this whole thing that are completely a different training episode. But what I want you to know is that build that relationship first, be a friend first, a marketer second, and then you'll be able to come back with your follow-up when the timing is right with each and every individual prospect, which is going to be different for each person because everybody has a different life. They have a different schedule. They have, some people have kids, some people don't have kids, and some people are working 2 jobs. Okay. So when you're getting back to people, is also dependent upon when they can respond back to you and when that conversation can take place. Now, the last piece of this is number 3 here, and it's how many times should I follow up? And it's really not about how many times you should follow up. It's more about this, and this comes from one of my upline mentors in the industry, said it so well. It's really not about the number of times, but really with how direct you can be in a respectful way as soon as you can be direct, okay? Now, here's the thing. We are not here to hem and haw and to lollygag and, build a business that's going to take us 50 years, right? We want to build a business as quickly as possible. Now, this business doesn't build itself overnight. Your business doesn't build itself overnight, but wouldn't you like to get there sooner, right? Exactly. So the more direct that you can be in the beginning with your prospect. Now, I'm not saying make your offer right away, prospect right away and ask the question, are you looking for an opportunity? No, it's not about that. It's about posture and presence and poise and making sure that you have the upper hand, and at least in leading the conversation with integrity, with poise, with understanding, and with asking questions to your prospect. Not making it about you, but making it about them, right? And when you do that, you can follow up as many times as you need to. But here's the thing, it depends on the prospect. And you shouldn't have to do the 7 times rule. There's that saying that, on the 7th time, someone will buy from you when you follow up with them. Sometimes it's more than that. Sometimes it's less. You've got to know your prospect, number one. But the more direct that you can be with your prospect as quickly, as feasibly as possible, the better. Because they will respect that you're not wasting their time and that you're not wasting your time. So hopefully you got value out of this. If you did, go ahead and drop me some love down below, share some comments, any questions that you have, I'd love to know. And as always, I want to make sure I equip you with a free resource that you can use in your business. And this week, I have an awesome one for you. It's my prospect tracker, which I absolutely love. And I hope you do too. Now with this, you'll be able to create your new prospects, your follow-ups in there, your stay in touches, and your not now people. All those people, so that way you know exactly who's where, and you can keep in front of your most important prospects that may just be your income producing team members, right? So you don't want to lose that. So this is one of the most important tools I'm going to give you yet. Now, you can get access to that by clicking the button below, and you can download that for free. And if you're not in my blog, just go to tribenetworkers.com/18. Now, did you love this episode? Because if you did, again, just go ahead and drop the comments down below. Any questions that you have, I'd be happy to follow up. And I will see you on the next training. Talk soon.